it's time to go beyond plus ultra for Boku no Hero Academia.
I guess Minus Artlu's just kind of out of here now.
Probably.
Until maybe next episode, since we get to actually see Spinner maybe for a bit. Or maybe they're pulling this again, where it's, hey, this is the last part of the Todoroki thing, and it's literally the last 4 fucking minutes again.
I kind of warned last week that this might happen.
Oh, I know. We said it. We said they're probably going to do it again. And we were right. Seriously, 4 minutes. It's still shocking to me how little of it is in there.
Despite being... Hold on. Let me just see here. It
was also flashback, too.
Okay.
A decent chunk was flashback.
So, if we're going by the typical make a title out of the chapters, we could have had the Hellish Todoroki Family Final, Unreasonable, or Epilogue. Those were our 3 choices.
Just call the next couple episodes Epilogue Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. Yes, I know it's not the title of all of the chapters, but, like, it feels appropriate given what the contents are.
Fair... Maybe not fair point in this case, but I don't know. Hey, if you have a better idea, please comment. Yes, I'm doing it early this time. Like, comment, subscribe. We would appreciate
Cowards won't do it. They won't do it. I'm telling you. And the ones that won't do it, I hate them. I hate them so much.
Just like how you hated the last episode, and...
As much as I hate Coconut, which is a fucking lot.
So you were saying, before we get into this, you forgot some complaints about the last episode?
There was something I wanted to bring up in the last episode, right?
But you were so blinded by hatred you forgot?
You could call it blinded by hatred. Frustration, I guess, is more the appropriate term with this.
Okay.
Not hatred. Let me ask you a quick question, okay?
Okay.
Just from me to you, I'm curious. What was the point of saving Shiguraki?
I don't think there was any point.
Other than Deku's own morals and what have you, there was no point. It did nothing. Nothing was saved. Like, nothing material was saved here. Nothing changed. In fact, doing it this way would have been the worst outcome. Short of Deku outright losing. There's a lot more... what's the word I'm looking for? There's a lot more destruction due to the fighting. There is a lot more pain and suffering for everyone else. If Deku had gone all out from the start, just being like, there is no saving this, who knows how quickly this fight could have ended?
Who knows if All for One would have taken over?
Yeah. All for One probably wouldn't have taken over. Deku might still have One for All. In fact, speaking of that, here's a whole other thing that could have happened.
Okay.
I get the idea of coming full circle with this, but, like, Shiguraki could have given him back All for One, or One for All. He got control of his body back at the very end. He could have transferred it back.
But weren't the vestiges 99% destroyed?
I mean, yes, but that doesn't mean you couldn't transfer it back, let alone the fact that he still had the One for All for One quirk, which allows him to give and take quirks. He could have done it through that either way.
Okay, and bouncing, like, a little bit bouncing off of that before we get into the main episode, this series and this season began with, this is the story about how I became the greatest hero. So, in this moment...
I am pointing out that, I just want to make this very clear, this isn't an argument with you right now. I get the idea of, he started quirkless, he ends quirkless. I get that first full circle idea. I think it's a shit way to do it. This is a shit way to do it. Because there are so many outs to this.
No, but my thing is, this is the story how I became the greatest hero. So,
Uh-huh.
like, I know All For One calls himself the Demon Lord and whatever other names he may call himself. So, maybe in this moment, in this single moment in time, Deku is the greatest hero because he dealt the final blow along with his class helping him out. So,
I
with
I
him being quirkless now, is he still the greatest hero? Because this is how I became the greatest hero. So, shit may happen tomorrow that will take that away from you. The only way that Deku can be the number one hero is if down the line they, like, his friends will contact, or like All Might, since All Might's still alive. Hey, Deku, you know how I was fighting off All For One with that mecha suit, like that mech Iron Man suit? I'm gonna make one for you now, so you could basically have one for all in mech suit form. So unless something like that happens, I don't see Deku as the greatest hero outside of the next few years.
So I don't think the idea is the point of having the powers. I think the title of greatest hero is that he is the hero that inspires other heroes. I think that this episode that we just watched kind of cements that idea.
Okay, I can kind of see that from
I
that
think
aspect.
that's what they're trying to get at with this. He became the greatest hero through this story of building up relationships and inspiring others.
Okay. Like I was thinking of like greatest hero as like Deku making his way up the ranks to become number one. Or something along those lines. But your way also makes sense too.
I do have one other thing I want to mention, and I forget if we mentioned this one or not the last time.
Yeah?
There's still a looming threat in the background that I'm curious if they're ever going to address.
The quirks becoming more powerful and
Yes. The quirk singularity thing that's been talked about. How are we fixing this problem? Because, like, the simple solution would have been All For One as a quirk still existing. I have no idea. I have no clue. I have to assume that the Docker at Jakku had some way of siphoning out other quirks without All For One being there. Maybe a Nomu had the quirk, but that Nomu's probably dead at this point. Outside of that, he'd have to have some kind of technology.
huh.
But that still doesn't fix the problem of quirks like, Shiguraki spontaneously popping into existence and those tragedies from happening.
Spontaneously popping into existence.
I mean, like, you get the point. Like, the
Yeah.
accident itself triggering. Like, it didn't matter whether it was Shiguraki or not. It could have been anyone that had that problem. It could just be, like, Tenko's fire explosion. Like, those tragedies are gonna happen unless we find some way to fix this. And there's nothing at all that is pointing toward a solution. It's a fucking leftover piece of detail that I'm curious if it's ever going to get addressed.
And I may be misquoting the Joker here, but all it takes is one bad day to drive somebody insane.
Oh yeah,
So,
absolutely.
So, like, one bad thing could happen to a young quirk user that will turn him down the path of evil. Like if somebody,
Honestly, you could argue Spinner was kind of that exact situation.
like if
Like, he was a nobody that nobody liked.
like if somebody had some kind of like time freeze quirk, like one bad day could turn them into the next Dio.
I mean, I don't know if I'd go as far as Dio. Dio had his own, like, fucked up childhood and shit. It wasn't just a single event there.
Yeah.
But I get the point.
No, you don't get any points. You didn't make any predictions this episode.
I mean, by technicality, we would both get points, but I think that in actuality cancels it out about how this was going to be like 4 minutes of fucking time for this title. I got an idea for the next time we do like episode reviews like this. We each start with a set amount of points and we make wagers.
Ooh.
Betting certain amounts of points that things are going to happen in the future.
Ooh. That might be fun.
And we can type like the numbers into the Discord chat, so that way we have a record of how much is being put down and for what.
Okay.
So we can't bullshit each other.
Okay. Interesting.
Anyway, to this episode. Long intro sequence.
From a title card aspect, I did not like the fact that this episode was like 25% flashback.
Yeah, a lot of flashback in this. Some of the new stuff is that we're back to talking about this weather girl in America for some reason.
Yeah.
Don't know why this was what we wanted to open on, but you know, okay. Anyway, we're reconstructing Japan with help from other countries.
And did we ever see that Egyptian dude before?
I feel like we did. Like during one of the missions where it was like trying to like the Jakku hospital section. Okay. I feel like he was in on that point. And if he wasn't, then it was when the nations were talking about whether or not to send heroes. Like they were flashing to different ones.
Okay.
It was one of those 2 points I want to say.
Okay, because he seems to be paper thin.
Kind of looks like it. I'm curious how they did his like hero outfit if he's paper thin to begin with.
And then we have a scene with Bakugo. And
yep.
Dr. Yoshi, who I don't know his real name, he just looks like Yoshi. I just call him Dr. Yoshi. Like, even he says, I have no idea how the hell he got there, Bakugo.
He somehow managed to do it, but yeah, basically the long and the short is Bakugo fucked himself up real good. So either he's going to have to use a prosthetic or he's going to have to go through some severe physical therapy to try and get his arm working again. And in, yes, classic Bakugo fashion, fuck you, doctor, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do all that physical therapy right now. And the doctor's like, bro, light shit only, your heart's going to explode. It's barely holding together right now.
And then we have a Deku All Might scene.
Yep. And then Bakugo decides to just ruin the moment by stepping in.
And Deku's eye explodes from its socket.
Deku grows a penis out of his eye. Let's be real about what it is. Let's not hide it. Because you can't believe Bakugo's crying.
Yeah, because now that Bakugo learns that Deku is now quirkless again, Bakugo will have nobody to compete against. Nobody to keep pushing him forward.
Deku does mention that he still has the embers inside of him, so if push comes to shove, he could still pull on that if he absolutely needed to, but who knows for how long.
Was it up until his battle with One for All that All Might had the embers?
All for one, you mean, and yes. But I'm assuming that it's like you have a limited amount of usage left. You know, your fuel tank's running low. Who knows what his gas, his gas level is right now for this. Could be on a half tank, could be on a quarter tank or an eighth tank, who knows? All we know is he has some usage yet.
And Deku is still so upset he couldn't save Shiguraki. And as he was saying, what would be the point of that?
Other than for his own personal, morals and feelings, there's no point. The end result did not change. His efforts to do so, for all aspects, meaningless. If he would have gone all out, it would have been over. Or it would have probably been over faster.
Yeah. And All Might says, like, hey, you two are my greatest heroes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Inspirational. Anyway, everyone's graduating. That was in the third year.
Mm-hmm.
We have like a giant ass party with present Mike just holding on the fucking like DJ shit down. I'm curious before him how they did the actual like graduations. Like, did they just hire someone else?
Maybe. Or maybe it was a little bit more of a traditional graduation ceremony until he came along and it was like, this shit is so dull. We
Let's
need to
spice it up,
party.
baby.
Oh my god.
Anyway, Muriel gives like a big old speech. Some weird golden thing explodes out of the thing behind him. I have no idea what the fuck that is.
And
It's on treads, whatever it
and
is.
he is so serious that everybody's like, where's the joke?
He didn't start with a joke.
Literally, 99% of the audience falls out of their seat.
Mm-hmm. We also get to meet like a brand new character out of nowhere now.
Yeah?
Oh no, that was later. First we see Aoyama, who's basically saying he's going to. What I got out of it is basically he's going to like re-enter and start from scratch as the hero training again on his own rather than with the backing of All for One.
So would you say, because he technically had a year of hero training, he is advanced or not?
I mean, he'll definitely have like an advantage on the new recruits. However, I think he'd have to wait not for this current one, but the next one, because it sounds like the new ones are already like picked out.
Okay. Because it's
So it
been,
would not be this the new year's coming in this time, but the year after that, I think.
okay, because it's been a extended amount of time in between what should have been the graduation.
Yeah, well, we don't know how long it was. Like we saw the scene in the hospital is a week after the events of the battle. We don't know how long between that hospital thing and graduation.
Graduation
I don't
was,
think they gave us a cut.
graduation
Of
was
time.
first, and then came the. Oh, you're talking about the Deku Hospital, not the Dabi.
Yeah, the Deku Hospital.
Okay,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know how long is between there and graduation. I don't think they gave us like a card that told us how long had passed.
Yeah, because since the beginning of the series, it was between more than a year, but less than 2 years.
Yeah. Well, and we don't know how long it was delayed either. Like, when was the graduation initially supposed to take place versus due to the battle? How long is it delayed till?
Yeah.
Anyway, we get reintroduced to Brainwashing Boy, who is now our new replacement for the hero, course.
Because he was in 1B?
Yes.
Okay, so now
Wait,
he's
no. Yeah, was he? No. He was in one of the other courses.
okay.
I forget which one. He was in one of the other courses, though.
Mm.
I don't think it was. It might have been press. I don't remember.
Mm.
But he was not part of 1B. Anyway, we cut ahead to a brand new character who I don't think we've ever seen before. This pink-haired chick, who apparently Aizawa failed at one point out of the class.
Whoever she was.
Uh-huh. Basically, talking about what was her name? They mention her name. No. Do they say who she is? Fua. Her name was Fua. No idea what her thing is. But anyway, she comes in, basically is like, "Hey, I'm heading up, the repair work to send people out to other parts of Japan and shit to help, reconstruct shit." Then we get to the scene where Todoroki is going to go up, and we're finally going to get to the actual, title of the episode.
Finally!
Yeah, right? Like, what, we're 16 minutes in, and that happens?
Yeah.
Anyway, all of the Todoroki family are going to see good old Dobby, who is literally barely alive and can only talk for short amounts of time.
And is dying.
and is absolutely dying. And hopefully, the idea is not hopefully. The idea is that like you can't also overstress him, or he will die faster. And he looks like a man in an iron mask.
Yeah,
and an iron lung, and an iron everything.
And Endeavor is going to retire.
He can't walk anymore. He's lost an arm.
He was planning on retiring anyway, but this kind of cemented the fact that, hey,
there's no, yeah. Part of the thing that we also hear mentioned by Fuo was the fact that there's no symbol of hope anymore. Deku can't be that at this point. And it's during a vacuum like that All for One came into being in the first place.
So who will be the new symbol of hope?
That's a great question. Who's going to take up that mantle? It can't be the last top three. Hawks no longer has his quirk. All Might doesn't have his quirk. And on top of that is fucking shattered. And then they've got Endeavor, who is also essentially unable to do work anymore anyway. He is unable to walk and has no arm.
So
he's stuck.
Number 3 hero?
3 was Hawks.
Oh.
I guess technically he would have been 2 after All Might retires. But I don't know who was 3 after that. Mirko's somewhere in the top 10. I forget where. None of them even hold a candle to the way All Might carried himself as a symbol of peace.
And despite being a rabbit girl who kicks things, that's not enough to be.
She doesn't carry herself in that way. That's the problem. Her attitude is not gonna be what does it. I love her fucking battle-hungry attitude. It's not a symbol of peace.
I'm going to kick it does not scream peace.
I figured you'd like Mirko. She's like a kick girl, like Chie.
Mirko isn't cute enough.
She's gotta go back to high school, then maybe.
Dude, what are you implying? Dude, no!
That a middle-aged woman isn't as cute as a younger girl, I'm guessing, is the way I'm taking what you said.
Let's move on before this gets weird. Dude.
We're already there. Too late.
Oh, womp womp.
Anyway, basically what it comes down to is that Endeavor is going to keep coming back here every day to try and talk to Dabi for as long as possible. Shoto tries to get a final word in before they have to shut Dabi down, essentially. Put him back into sleep mode. Which is, what's your favorite food? And it turns out both of them like soba.
That kind of was a nice moment that they could finally connect on something.
Something as simple as food.
Mm-hmm. And it seems that the Todoroki family has partially forgiven Endeavor, but for the most part, we don't want anything to do with you anymore.
I don't know. I think it's just his one son that is saying that.
Okay.
His one son is kind of like, you've done your job, but I still don't want to be around you, essentially.
I'm going to get a girlfriend.
He's going to marry his girlfriend. He has one already.
Okay. And I won't tell her anything about you.
I'm not telling her about you. You're not invited to the wedding. You're not allowed to be there. His daughter and Shoto seem to be okay with still being around him, as well as their mom. Endeavor also mentions that he's also going to try and shield them from whatever fallout the Dabi situation brings as much as he can. He'll take on all that responsibility for himself and not leave it to his kids.
And that was basically it.
It would kind of end with Hawks giving him a text message like, "Hey buddy, you doing okay? You can talk to me if you need to."
Because Hawks is now what?
He is the new president of the Hero Public Safety Commission.
That's right. I did not write that down.
I literally skipped to it so that way I could see what the actual title was.
Thank you.
And that's all of it for this episode. We're gonna get some more wrap up in the next episode. Some of the other characters are going back to help.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like some of 1A are going back out to help with the reconstruction efforts.
And
We'll see.
like it will be a Ochiko and Deku episode for maybe like 4 minutes.
You're probably another 4 minutes.
Fun times for all. So I guess until next week, the penultimate episode.
I guess, yeah.
Yep. So goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.